Recently, Danny from the Stop made fun of Joe Budden and his girlfriend, since it was rumored that Joe would be proposing during their Turks and Caicos vacation. The comment didn't go down well in the social media sphere, since we got a direct response from Joe Budden's girlfriend Shady. Simone fired back directly on X, formerly known as Twitter. She said, "My friend/sister, who is currently living with me for the summer, lost her 14-year-old son, my nephew, my kid's best friend. We don't know the cause. We were and are still devastated." Joe told the story on the pod and explained how I had to console my twins, wipe their tears, and quiet their screams with hugs, all while holding it together, because we have a 10-year-old we were not ready to tell and had to hide from. Yet somehow there are still dumb dumps like this one here who thought, whether he was planning to or not, it best to make jokes as if after that kind of news, a proposal was a good idea. Danny, are you on meds? If not, you need to be, because something is not right up there. Now, let's talk about Shady Monique, the queen who caught this stray and fired back with the precision of a sniper and the passion of a poet. This is a woman who's been riding with Joe since 2019, a Houston-bred beauty who's built a brand with body essentials, slinging lingerie and bikinis while mothering 2 kids from past relationships and supporting Joe's ventures with the loyalty of a lioness. She's no stranger to the spotlight's glare, having weathered the storms of Joe's tumultuous romantic history. Think Tahiri Jose, CYN Santana, and a laundry list of love and hip-hop melodrama. Yet, she's kept it low-key, dodging the Instagram thirst traps and reality TV ratchetness to build something real with Joe. And when Danny's meme hit the X streets, Shady didn't just clap back. She unleashed a verbal Armageddon, a lyrical lashing that left Danny's digital dignity in tatters. She called him out for his callousness, questioning his mental state with a rhetorical jab sharper than a barber's blade. Danny, are you on meds? If not, you need to be, because something is not right up there. Oh snap. That's not just a read, that's a whole library of shade, a masterclass in dragging that deserves its own TED Talk. But let's dive deeper, because this ain't just about a meme or a clapback. This is about the state of our digital soul, the moral bankruptcy of a culture that treats tragedy like a punchline and grief like a prop. Danny, you are the poster child for this pandemic of pettiness, this epidemic of empathy erosion that's got folks thinking they can meme their way through someone else's pain. You saw Joe Budden, a man who's been through the ringer, drug addiction, child support battles, assault allegations, and a career pivot from rap to podcast royalty, lay bare his heart, and you thought, let me make this about a proposal that never happened. Bruh, your priorities are so skewed they make the Leaning Tower of Pisa look like it's standing straight. You're out here acting unwise, as Charlemagne would say, with the audacity of a man who thinks he's got the moral high ground, but is actually sinking in the quicksand of his own ignorance. Now let's talk about Joe for a minute, because this man is a walking paradox, a Shakespearean character in a hip-hop script. He's the dude who gave us Pump It Up, a banger that had us all bouncing in 2003, only to reinvent himself as the Howard Stern of hip-hop, spitting hot takes on the Joe Budden podcast with the fervor of a televangelist and the insight of a street philosopher. He's been engaged, dissed, dragged, and redeemed, a man who's loved and lost with the cameras rolling, from Tahiri's rejection in Times Square to CYN Santana's exit for her mental health. And through it all, he's kept it 100, wearing his flaws like battle scars and his heart on his sleeve. When he shared this story of loss, he wasn't just podcasting. He was testifying, offering a glimpse into the kind of pain that doesn't fit neatly into a 280-character tweet. And Danny, you took that sacred moment and turned it into a meme, as if grief is just another viral video waiting to be clipped. Shady's response, though? That's the gospel truth, a sermon delivered with the fire of a woman who's had enough of the internet's nonsense. She didn't just defend her man, she defended the sanctity of sorrow, the right to mourn without some rando turning it into a Reddit thread. She painted Danny as a fool who needs a prescription for perspective, a man so out of touch he thinks a vacation in Turks and Caicos is the backdrop for a rom-com proposal, not a moment to process profound loss. And let's be clear, Turks and Caicos ain't the problem. Joe and Shady have been there before, celebrating his 39th birthday in 2019, vibing on the white sand beaches like a power couple straight out of a music video. But to suggest that a proposal should have happened in the wake of a child's death? That's not just tone deaf, it's a whole orchestra of obliviousness, a symphony of stupidity conducted by Maestro Danny himself. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, because this ain't just about Danny's dumb meme or Shady's sick burn. This is about the internet as a whole, a wild west of words where every Tom, Dick, and Danny thinks they're a comedian, a critic, and a philosopher all rolled into one. We're living in an age where empathy is an endangered species, where people will screenshot your pain and slap a caption on it faster than you can say subtweet. Danny's meme is a symptom of a disease, a cultural cancer that thrives on clicks and clout, that rewards the loudest voice and the pettiest take. And Joe Budden, for all his flaws, is one of the few out here trying to keep it real, to talk about the messy, human stuff, grief, fatherhood, love, in a world that wants everything polished and packaged for the algorithm. That what's wild is that Danny probably thought he was being clever, that his LeBron Jr. meme was going to get him some retweets, maybe a few laughing emojis from the ex-peanut gallery. But instead, he got read for filth by Shady, who turned his little joke into a cautionary tale about what happens when you come for the wrong one. She didn't just clap back. She built a cathedral of clapback, a monument to the power of standing up for what's right. And in doing so, she reminded us all that there's a line between humor and harm, between satire and savagery, that you cross at your own peril. Danny crossed that line, and now he's wearing the donkey crown, a braying buffoon in the court of public opinion. But let's not stop there, because this is bigger than Danny, bigger than Joe, bigger than Shady. This is about the kind of world we're building, one meme at a time. Every time we laugh at someone's pain, every time we reduce a tragedy to a caption, we chip away at our own humanity. We turn the internet into a circus, and we're all clowns, juggling our hot takes while the ringmaster counts the likes. Joe Budden's podcast, for all its drama, is one of the few spaces where real talk still happens, where a man can cry for his nephew and his kids without being called soft. And Shady's response is a battle cry for all of us who are tired of the nonsense, who want a digital world where compassion isn't a casualty of content as, oh, Danny, you get the donkey of the week, the grand prize for galactic-level goofiness. You thought you were cooking with that meme, but all you did was burn your own reputation to a crisp. Shady Monique served you up like Sunday dinner, and the internet's eating it up. Maybe next time, you'll think twice before you try to meme your way through someone's morning. Maybe you'll realize that some things, grief, loss, love, ain't for the timeline. Until then, you're out here braying in the wilderness, a cautionary tale for every keyboard cowboy who thinks they can shoot from the hip and not catch a stray. Hee-haw, Danny, hee-haw. Thus, we depart this digital delirium, our hearts lighter for the laughter, our minds sharper for the scrutiny. May we go forth with the courage to question, the grace to forgive, and the wit to wield words not as weapons, but as wings, lifting us above the fray to a vantage point where the follies of men are but fleeting shadows in the light of a greater good. And so, with a final flourish, we close this chapter, ready to write the next with a pen dipped in the ink of insight and a spirit unbound by the chains of churlishness. Onward, then, to saner shores. And let us resolve to seek a higher discourse, one that shuns the shallow shoals of scandal for the deeper waters of wisdom. For in the end, it is not the clamor of controversy that endures, but the quiet cadence of truth, a melody that, if we listen closely, can still be heard amid the din.